Have you ever thought about what it would be like to navigate a dangerous sea thousands of years ago with nothing but the stars? Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to see the night sky, but not our night sky. We're going to see it through the eyes of some of history's greatest sailors. So let's get into it. Listen to that phrase, across obsidian waves toward the edge of the world. I mean, wow. It just perfectly captures the feeling, right? You can almost picture it. You're out there on these pitch black waters, the stars above look different, and you're literally pushing the boundaries of the known world. It sounds like something straight out of a myth, but for some people, this was just reality. So, who exactly were these incredible sailors, these masters of the ancient sea? Well, they're the heroes of our story today. We're talking about the Phoenicians. All right, so the Phoenicians were this amazing ancient civilization, right? Based in the Eastern Mediterranean. And look, they weren't just good sailors. They were the undisputed masters of the sea, for real. They built this huge trading network that basically connected the entire ancient world, linking all these different cultures and economies together thousands of years ago. And the stuff they were trading? It was incredible, almost legendary. Things like shimmering sea silk, this unbelievably rare fabric that was actually harvested from a special kind of clam. So you see, these guys weren't just merchants. They were true adventurers, bringing the most exotic goods you can imagine to the ancient world. But that leads us to the big central question, right? Think about it. There was no compass, no GPS, no satellites. So how in the world did they manage to cross the massive, open Mediterranean with such accuracy? And maybe more importantly, how did they always find their way back home? Well, for the longest time, the answer has been, well, frustratingly out of reach. And that's because our historical records are basically like trying to look into a shattered mirror. What we've had to work with are just bits and pieces. A few scattered references here, some incomplete star maps there, these fragmented celestial charts. It's basically been like trying to put together a giant jigsaw puzzle, but with 90% of the pieces missing. That is, until now. Okay, and this is where the story gets really cool. It takes this sharp turn, connecting the ancient world with some of the most advanced technology we have today. To crack this code, researchers essentially built a bridge between two totally different worlds. So on one side, you have all the ancient clues they could find, stuff from maritime archaeology, stories from mythology, and on the other side, they brought in the heavy hitter, artificial intelligence, to spot patterns that are just impossible for the human eye to see. So you're probably wondering, how exactly did they pull this off? It was this really clever three-step process. First up, they took everything they could dig up from archaeology and combined it with ancient myths. Because, those old stories often hide real nuggets of navigational truth. Step two, they fed all of this messy, fragmented data into an AI. You can think of the AI as this ultimate puzzle solver. It crunched thousands of data points, finding these tiny connections that a human researcher could easily miss. It basically learned the rules of Phoenician navigation from the scraps of information, and then used those rules to fill in all the missing parts. And for the grand finale, step three, the AI was able to render a complete picture, to actually visualize the exact stellar pathways the Phoenicians would have followed. And the result? Honestly, it's nothing short of breathtaking. This is a true breakthrough in how we understand the ancient world. Just think, for centuries, all we had were these frustratingly incomplete pieces of the puzzle. We knew the Phoenicians were master navigators, but we just couldn't say for sure how they did it. But now we can actually see it. This AI synthesis has taken us from a bunch of random fragments to a living, breathing, visual map of their star routes. For the very first time, we get to see what they saw. And let me be clear, this is so much more than just drawing lines on a map. This is about recreating an entire perspective, a whole lost way of seeing the world and the stars. It really is about mapping the sky through Phoenician eyes. So what exactly did this incredible process reconstruct? Well, for starters, the specific trade routes for that amazing shimmering sea silk. Also, the exact constellations they used to guide them, which, by the way, were often totally different from the Greek and Roman ones we know today. Theirs were built from their own myths and practical needs. And maybe the most mind-blowing part, it gave us a scientifically accurate view of the Mediterranean night sky from millennia ago. Okay, so why is this such a big deal? I mean, it's just an old map, right? Wrong. This discovery is about so much more than that. It actually has some really big implications for us, right here, right now. Look, this isn't just a restored map. It's a window into ancient human ingenuity. It's proof of just how sophisticated our ancestors were. It shows that with nothing but sharp observation and deep, deep knowledge, they could pull off feats that are still just staggering to us today. And that's really the key takeaway here. This whole project shows the incredible power of using our modern tech, not just to build the future, but to actually rediscover our past. AI isn't just for, self-driving cars and stuff. It can be the key that finally unlocks some of history's most stubborn secrets. All of this leaves us with one final, really tantalizing question. We've brought the Phoenician sky back into view, but what else is out there? What other secrets are hidden away in fragmented texts and forgotten myths? What other lost worlds are just waiting for the right tools to be visualized and brought back to life?